Continuing from where we left out, now we will see what is an Amazon machine image. Amazon machine image is the operating system that is running on then hypervisor. So each virtual private server that is a component of AMI is called a size rating, called is EC2 compute unit. That is because that lists the priority. Suppose I have one, my rating is one, and the other server's rating is nine, so I will get a higher priority. So what are the instances are there? First is the standard instance. So what standard instance does is for normal web applications, websites, the web blogs, and content writing websites. All these first are for standard instances. Then suppose I have a huge data store online or a huge database online. So it will require very high memory. So for that there are high memory instances. So data throughput for such applications and data caching and retrieval is very high. So there should be a good cache, there should be a good server connection, but it should support multiple concurrent connections, and it should have a good throughput, and it should keep backup of the data because it may get there due to some overflow. You have to need to handle the data overflow in this have an instance. In high CPU instance, you have to suppose that the application and there is a video game. The video game has a high CPU instance. This category is best used for applications that are high processor or high compute intensive. So pricing models. Pricing models are depend upon many other factors. So the amount of data transferred. The first, the first is the amount of data transferred. The next is whether elastic IP was used. Then suppose elastic IP is used, then it will charge a bit higher because elastic IP is scalable. Not much, but it is the amount of data transfer is the topmost thing that we will check. Then elastic load balancing. Again, this is, this elastic load balancing is very important because if you there are many chances that node may fail. So this may charge higher elastic load balancing. I will just highlight this elastic load balancing, elastic IP address assigned, and if you use the virtual private user servers of EBS. So location of the machine image is also important, and the amount of time the machine is up is also important. And finally the operating system. So demand instances in on-demand instance, the price is computed hourly. There is no long-term commitment. But in the reserved instance, there is a purchase of a contract for each instance you use with significantly hourly usage charge. So on demand instance is good for if you want to create it only use it only one time or just are using it for study. So for educational purposes or for only one you can say project, then demand instance is useful. Reserved instance is instance for a business company which need to be running every time. And spot instances for large companies like they are having those sufficient change of data. Their data has to be scalable for that spot instances used. So operating system support. So you can see here Amazon making images, Red Hat, Linux Ubuntu, then Windows Server, Debian, Oracle Enterprise Linux, Fedora. All these operating systems are supported, but most of the image templates that Amazon offers are Red Hat Linux and Windows Server, Open Oracle, and Open Solaris. So what is Amazon S3? Amazon S3 stores data is a cloud service which stores data ranging from 1 GB to 5 GB in a virtual private server using the elastic IP address. So now I want to get 1 GB more data. So that will be assigned a different IP address. So for the original 1 GB data and the new 1 GB data, both have different IP addresses because it is using elastic IP address. So the namespace together to the storage are known as buckets. So suppose I have told my bucket is A123. So it means that in A123 serial number my data is stored. So it is like a function of a directory. But in buckets there are no files. So bucket doesn't Amazon S3 doesn't store data in files. It stores data as objects and properties of objects and methods of objects that can change the object. So once all your object is stored, then it will be finalized. There is no file system. We don't need to mount any file system, and there is no files. There are only objects. There was about S3. What can you do in S3? So you can create, edit, or delete existing buckets. So suppose I want the archival data to be deleted, I can delete that bucket, archival data. Or I want to create a new data, then I can easily insert image. Then I want to suppose crop an image. I can download the image, crop it, and I can upload it. So uploading new objects is there at a certain and downloading. We can search for objects like if I want to see the home icon of my website, I can find it. I can find buckets. I can find multiple buckets associated with me. Then I can make buckets objects available for public access as well. That will be a bit secure, insecure. And I can specify where the bucket should be stored. Now, EBC is a competitor to S3, but EBC is a persistent system storage with high operational performance. The throughput is very high and is more efficient and more high performance than S3. The advantages of EBS are it can store file system information. Unlike S3, and S3 we can't store file system information, but here we can store file system information, and hence its performance is very high, and it is much more reliable than S3 because it stores in file system and the operating system has a backup of the file system. Then it requires the authentication credentials for logging in. No one can haphazardly log in. So this makes EBS a valuable operational data storage. So for AWS, creating an AWS volume is greater than creating a similar size SD bucket. So I want 1 GB. So EBS will be higher in the cost of for 1 GB rather than S3. So that is the advantage of S3. But and one more thing that elastic block storage can be used as an instant boot partition. So what is- for boot, if I want just for booting, I want a different storage system. I will create a partition in the file system, and in the boot partition I will use EBS. So what will happen is whenever EBS is there, it goes to the DNS, and then you can get access to what data you had. So it is for boot partition creation. Uh, uh, EBS, you can say EBS can be used. Thanks so much.